Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel where we try and bring you the most relaxing and immersive audio experiences. Today's no different. We are taking you on an adventure through space where we will be exploring the calming sounds of our solar system. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing journey. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more awesome content like this. Let's begin. First up, we have the sun. Every sound in this video is 100% real and has been collected by NASA. So what you're about to hear is the real sound of our sun. This is a star that is 400 times bigger than the Earth. It is a ball of burning gas that gives life to our planet. It is also the center of our solar system. You can hear the energy and power it holds just from this audio alone. Just imagine being so tiny and insignificant compared to this giant ball of fire. It is almost impossible to wrap your mind around the fact that this is what gives us light and warmth. Next, we fly past Mercury. This is the smallest planet in our solar system. It is about 3 times smaller than the Earth. It is also the fastest planet in our solar system. As you can see, there isn't much atmosphere on this planet, which means that there isn't much sound either. This is the sound of Mercury. Can you hear the wind? It sounds like a lullaby. Now we approach Venus. This planet is about the same size as the Earth. However, it is extremely hot. It is the hottest planet in our solar system. There are thick clouds covering the surface of this planet, which traps heat and causes the high temperatures. Due to these clouds, there is a lot of pressure and a lot of sound, so listen closely. This is the real sound of Venus. Doesn't it sound beautiful? I think it does. The sound of Venus has been played backwards in some movies to create an otherworldly feel. Now we reach the Earth. This is our home. This is where we live. This is where we belong. There is so much life on this planet. There are humans, animals, plants, bacteria. There is so much noise on this planet because of all the living things on it. But right now, let's take a break from all the chaos and just listen to the sound of our Earth. This is the real sound of our planet. This is the sound of home. It is the sound of comfort and familiarity. Our next stop is Mars. This is a planet that has been explored by many rovers and probes. It is a planet that humans would like to colonize one day. It is a planet that has a lot of potential. However, it is also a very dry and dusty planet. There is not much atmosphere on Mars, but there is still some. And with the right equipment, you can hear the sound of this planet. This is the real sound of Mars. What do you think? It sounds like a desert, doesn't it? Now we enter the asteroid belt. This is the region between Mars and Jupiter. There are millions of asteroids in this area. Most of them are small, but some of them are quite large. Asteroids are made of rock and metal. They're leftovers from the formation of the solar system. These space rocks are always moving and crashing into each other, and if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of this activity. This is the sound of the asteroid belt. It might sound like a lot, but in reality, it is very quiet out there. These sounds have been amplified so that we can hear them from Earth. The next planet we will visit is Jupiter. This is the largest planet in our solar system. It is a gas giant that is over 300 times larger than the Earth. Jupiter has a lot of moons and rings. It is also a very active planet with a lot of storms and winds. The Great Red Spot is a storm that has been raging on Jupiter for centuries. If you were to stand on the surface of Jupiter, you would be blown away by the powerful winds and storms. Here is the real sound of Jupiter. Isn't that amazing? It sounds like a monster, doesn't it? A big, scary monster that you don't want to mess with. But this is just the sound of nature. This is the sound of the universe. Now we come across Saturn. This is another gas giant. It is known for its beautiful rings. These rings are made of ice and rock. They're leftovers from the formation of the solar system. Saturn is also a very active planet with a lot of storms and winds. However, the rings are very calm. Here's the real sound of Saturn. It might not sound like much, but in reality, it is very loud. The rings are constantly crashing into each other and making a lot of noise. However, this noise is very high-pitched and we can't hear it from Earth. Let's move on to Uranus. This is an ice giant. It is made of ice and rock. It is also a very cold planet. The swings in temperature cause strong winds and storms. It has rings too, but they are not as beautiful as Saturn's. Uranus is tilted on its side. This is because it has been hit by a large object in the past. If you were to stand on the surface of Uranus, you would feel like you were on a roller coaster. The winds and storms would be so strong that you would be blown off your feet. Here is the real sound of Uranus. Now we reach Neptune. This is the last planet in our solar system. It is also an ice giant, similar to Uranus in many ways. In fact, Uranus and Neptune are so similar that they are often grouped together. Both planets have rings, and both planets have strong winds and storms. Neptune is slightly smaller than Uranus. It is also slightly more massive. If you were to stand on the surface of Neptune, you would feel the strong winds and storms all around you. You would feel like you were at the end of the universe. Here's the real sound of Neptune. And finally, we reach the end of our solar system. This is the Oort cloud. This is a sphere of ice and rock that surrounds our solar system. It is the home of many comets. These are icy bodies that travel around the solar system. Some of these comets can be quite large. Others are only a few miles wide. Comets are leftovers from the formation of the solar system. They're mostly made of ice and dust. When a comet passes close to the sun, the heat causes the ice to vaporize. This creates a cloud of gas and dust around the comet. This is what makes a comet look like a giant snowball. Here is the real sound of the Oort cloud. It might sound like nothing, but in reality, it is very loud. The comets are constantly crashing into each other and making a lot of noise. However, this noise is very high-pitched and we can't hear it from Earth. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey through our solar system. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Till next time, keep looking up in the sky and exploring the universe. We have another video right here that we know you will love. So click on that link and let's continue the adventure. We are going on an adventure today, but not just any adventure, a relaxing one. We're going to visit some of our closest neighbors in space and explore the solar system in this relaxing ASMR adventure. These will be the most calming sounds you'll ever hear, and if that doesn't work for you, we have a whole playlist dedicated to ASMR with more than 2 million views. So let's start our tour of the solar system. The first stop on our tour is our home planet Earth. You can hear the wind blowing, birds tweeting, water running over rocks. This is what it sounds like where we come from. Next up, we are off to Mercury. It's the planet closest to the sun, which makes it extremely hot during the day. But when the sun sets, it gets really cold, so cold that it's a solid ice cube. In between these extreme temperatures, Mercury has no atmosphere to speak of, so there's no wind or weather. All you would hear is the sound of your own breathing and your heart beating. Now we're off to Venus. Although Venus is similar in size and mass to Earth, it is extremely hostile. The atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide with thick clouds that trap heat. The atmospheric pressure is 92 times greater than Earth's, and the surface temperature reaches 475 degrees Celsius. No breathing on Venus. Next, we arrive at our biggest neighbor, Mars. It's a cold desert planet with an extremely thin atmosphere. The air is mostly carbon dioxide. If you were to breathe it, it would fill your lungs with all of its might, and then your body would reject it as a foreign substance. Mars has no liquid water on the surface, and most of its water is frozen. There are some canyons, valleys, and craters to explore. And because there's almost no atmosphere, there's no sound to disturb you while exploring. Now, we're flying past the asteroid belt. Most asteroids are made of rock and metal. They range from hundreds of miles to only a few feet across. The largest asteroid series is 590 miles across. Asteroids orbit the Sun between Mars and Jupiter. If you were to walk on an asteroid, it would feel like walking on hard-packed sand. All of the asteroids have been hit by meteorites over the years, and some are even covered with impact craters. You can hear the small rocks crunching under your boots as you walk around. Next up, we have the gas giant Jupiter. Because Jupiter is mostly made of gas, there's no solid surface to stand on. You could fall forever into its massive gaseous depths. But don't worry, we're not planning to go down there. Instead, we'll fly above the clouds and see what's going on. There are strong winds and storms raging on Jupiter. The largest storm ever recorded is the Great Red Spot, which is large enough to swallow Earth. You can hear the roaring of the winds as they race around the planet. Now we'll visit another icy place, Saturn. Its rings are mostly made of ice particles, but there are also rocky and metallic objects in there too. These range in size from small grains of ice to house-sized boulders. You can hear the small rocks grinding against each other as they move around the planet. If you wanted to walk on Saturn, you would need a special suit that would keep you from floating away into outer space. but there is no solid surface to walk on, so it would be quite the adventure. Now we're off to Neptune. Neptune is another ice giant, similar to Jupiter and Saturn. It's mostly made up of gases and liquids that we can't even see. Neptune has strong winds that blow around the planet at speeds reaching 1,500 miles per hour. You can hear the howling of the winds as they move around the planet. There are also some smaller storms on Neptune, but nothing as big as the Great Red Spot on Jupiter. Now we'll take a quick trip to Pluto. Pluto is a dwarf planet located in the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt is a region of space filled with many small rocky objects. There are also some larger objects in the Kuiper Belt, such as Eris, Makemake, and Haumea. These are all similar to Pluto in size and mass. Pluto was discovered by Clyde Tombaugh in 1930. For many years, it was considered the 9th planet in the solar system. However, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto as a dwarf planet. Even though Pluto is no longer considered a planet, it is still a very interesting object in our solar system. If you wanted to visit Pluto, it would take you over 9 hours to get there. At the speed of light, Pluto is about 3.7 billion miles away from Earth. Finally, we've arrived at the Sun. The Sun is a star. It's a giant ball of hot gas that produces light and heat. The Sun is the center of our solar system. All of the planets orbit around it. The Sun is about 865,000 miles in diameter. It's about 109 times the diameter of Earth. The Sun is also about 333,000 times the mass of Earth. The Sun is mostly made up of hydrogen and helium. These elements are fused together to form heavier elements. This process releases a tremendous amount of energy. This energy is what powers the Sun. The Sun is very important to us here on Earth. It provides us with light and heat. Without the Sun, Earth would be a frozen planet. The Sun's energy drives our weather patterns. It also makes photosynthesis possible. This is how plants convert light energy into chemical energy. Animals, including humans, need plants for food. Just in a way, the Sun is essential for life on Earth. There are many other things to see and hear in our solar system, but we're running out of time. Maybe we'll explore more of it next time. If you enjoyed this tour, please give us a like. We'd also like to thank all of our supporters for their support. Their support allows us to continue making videos like this one. Thank you for watching. We hope you learned something new, and we hope you enjoyed the tour of our solar system. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like this one.
Thanks for watching.